Be strong.
All right, guys. Welcome back to Fit Beauties Talk. I am Sonia Lewis.
K-Fit Barbie.
And I am Bree Wiggly.
Yeah, so today we're going to have a young lady on by the name of Darajah. Am I saying that right, guys?
That's her.
Yes.
Darajah Hill. And she is what we would say, I think she got her pro card, and she won like 2 pro shows, right?
Back to back.
Back to back. All right, so let's bring her in now. Second. Hello.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
Hi. I feel like I just saw you.
I know. Was it yesterday?
Oh, she was at San Antonio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So I'm gonna just say in advance, sorry if my fiance is playing Madden with his friend, and he's
So it gets crazy.
fell into it.
We'll just ignore. Well, thank you for coming on to Fit Beauties Talk. We are so happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here with all of you beautiful ladies.
Thank you. All right. So I would, as usual, we just have you guys introduce yourself and just kind of give us a little background on you, a little bio, and then we can kind of go from there.
Everyone's good. Do I start?
Yes,
Start.
ma'am.
Yeah. It's about you tonight.
It's Darajah. I am an IFBB Bikini Pro. I am currently in prep a little less than 6 weeks or
Yep.
yeah,
About
6
5
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah, 37 days as of tomorrow, so that's super exciting.
Wow.
But yeah, I am currently working as a coach for Team Pro Physique.
Yeah, another coach.
Yes, and I am loving it. It's so funny. Long story short, I actually always said I'm never doing that. I was like, this is so stressful. I don't know how you guys but it's by far the most fulfilling job I've ever had, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Good.
So
Good
let
for
us know
you.
how old you are and what did you do before coaching?
So I am 25. I turned 25 in July.
Oh,
And before
young.
coaching, before coaching, I have my bachelor's in athletic training. So I did the whole thing, got my passed my board certification exam, got my license to practice athletic training in the state of Florida, and worked as an AT for about 2 years. And then, I just kind of made that transition. It just made sense. Transitioned into coaching. I don't know, it meshed better with me. My schedule, I was able to manipulate it more so I could do both work and competing and kind of have things go more hand in hand. Whereas like working as an athletic trainer, obviously anybody who works in anything that's not really in the fitness industry, and you have to kind of clock in, clock out, that 9 to 5 kind of thing.
Right.
It's doable, but it just ended up, it served its purpose for me, but I am definitely happy with the transition into kind of a self-employment situation.
That's awesome. It is doable because you won your pro card and you won 2 pro shows. So
Exactly.
I was actually also in school while I was doing all of that. So
oh my goodness.
So the ladies watching, it is possible to get it done. Y'all just got to be prepared and plan and just focus.
Organized, right? Organized.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, awesome. Okay, so my question for you this evening would be, how did you kind of like get into competing? I know you've shared a little bit about kind of like your athletic side and things you've done in the past, but how did you get into competing, and like did anything in your childhood sports kind of prepare you for this?
Yeah, so I grew up as a tennis player. Sorry, my dog was trying to like.
Yes, Serena.
Actually, people used to call me like Little Serena when I was younger. I wasn't as good as her though, but Yeah, so I grew up playing tennis for a long, long time. Played all through high school, USTA, did the USTA circuit up like in the Allegheny region up near Pennsylvania, all that
Wow.
stuff. And then it wasn't my true love, my passion. So it wasn't something I wanted to pursue in college. And then I decided to, sorry, my other dog is like, he's right up under my laptop. But yeah, I always loved like fitness and muscle on women. I was like, yes, girl. I always had the like cap shoulders, the lines, the biceps, the hamstring bulge. Like I always had moms asking me like what I do. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I never really trained in a gym before. And my nickname in middle school was D Muscles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the guys were always like, oh, like you're gonna beat me up. And I'm like, no. So for a while I was like, oh, like muscle's not cute, but bodybuilding was like, yes it is, girl.
Yeah.
So as I was getting into fitness, I got a gym membership like I think my freshman or sophomore year in college. That was my first ever gym membership that I got myself. It was at an LA Fitness. And I just started training. I wanted curves. I was not blessed with the wide hips, those ratios. That was not me. So I saw like fitness girls on Instagram, and of course I fell into that whole, train like me, get my booty program, and like you'll look like me.
Get your T program.
Yeah,
Black belly T.
Yeah. And I didn't know how much genetics played a role in just all of that. So I was like working out and lifting and training. And sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear him. Working out and training, and I was like so unfulfilled. I was like, I'm not seeing what I want to see, and I'm working hard. Also, my nutrition was not on point. Your girl loves to eat. Like
we all do, girl. We all.
Yes.
Right.
My mom's side of the family is from Arkansas, so they have that soul food Southern cooking, and then my dad's side of the family is Caribbean, Indian. So they all love to eat and cook with all the sugar, the butter, the oil, everything. So that's what I grew up with. Never really paid that much notice to nutrition. And luckily, my metabolism was like, okay, we can keep up for a while. And then as I was pursuing, building some curves, I was like, oh, well, I need to eat more food. Like I need to eat. So, cause Beyonce was like my, my goal. I was like, she's thick, she looks good, she got a booty. And it just wasn't happening. So then my fiance noticed like I was just not, my self-esteem was not there. I was constantly comparing myself to these girls who looked nothing like me. And he was like, you need to just do something with this energy. You're obviously into it. I was posting and stuff on Instagram, but I really didn't know where I was going with it. So I was going to either do powerlifting or like CrossFit or bodybuilding, which I loved squat and deadlift. That's my jam, but my bench doesn't exist. So, and I had no interest in trying to get a heavy bench. So, and I had seen Angelica, as I started looking up, things about competing. It was right around the time of the Arnold in 2018. And I saw Angelica and I was like, oh, wow, like she looks amazing. She has curves, but she's lean. She's just killing it. So I said, I want to do that. So then I was like, all right, done. And I'm all or nothing. So I was like, I'm doing it. I did all my research. I started practicing posing. I bought the heels. And I never looked back, obviously.
You did that Miami show. I think I first saw you with the short hair, right?
Yes, the platinum blonde fade.
It was pretty. I liked it. I really do. I did like it. I still love it. It's. I mean,
Coach is like, no.
No,
Kay is like,
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I think
No,
you
okay.
were there. It was the year maybe Houston competed, possibly. It was 2018.
I remember Alex Ross won the overall at that
Yeah, it
show
was
that
the
year.
year Houston
That
competed,
was
and I
Houston.
remember Darajah because she had the short hair. I mean, I
Yeah.
was like, wow, that girl looks really good.
Yeah, and at the time, I really, I bought a wig, but it was like the long, straight hair, and
Yeah.
it was kind of wavy, but it was just not. It actually just made me look more masculine than anything. It was, yeah. And I sent pictures to Paul, my coach, and he was like, no.
Nah.
So I was like, I just went, got my hair faded. I got my own dye, my own bleach, and like I went on YouTube. I looked up how to do it. And I bleached it. But after a while, obviously, my hair was like, girl, like, enough. So I went full Britney. I took my fiance's clippers and I just shaved her all off.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so then that transition was fun.
I love it.
Is that
So
it?
then,
Is that it, Bree?
yeah. Oh, so I just was gonna say. So after you did Miami Nationals, you went on to North Americans, right? And won that. I love North Americans.
It was like a year later, no? Was that a year later?
Yep, that was a year later because I did NPC Nationals in November, and then time off. I started prep in May of 2019, and then jumped into the Tampa Pro-Am in August, and then did North Americans 3 weeks later.
Dang, girl.
Where you won the whole show. The whole show. Different hair, different physique, different suit color.
Okay.
Yes. Posing. I mean, the whole shebang. Everything changed.
I did my homework, man. I think I knew I wanted to take competing far. I wanted to be on the Olympia stage one day. When I submitted my inquiry to work with Paul, I told him, in 5 years, I want to be on the Olympia stage. Because I was like, that's realistic. That's a realistic expectation. I don't know exactly, how long it's going to take me to get there, but 5 years is a solid plan. And,
here you are.
Yeah.
2 years.
I always say if Hurricane Pros, when you earned your first status to make the Olympia, I said if I wouldn't have rather took second place to anybody else. Like, you're an amazing girl, so I give you kudos to that.
And that was so much fun.
Yes, it was fun.
Because I had never met you before either, and everybody looked amazing. Y'all were so nice. I wasn't competing with anyone that I knew because obviously, I'm still new to the sport, and then I'm a new pro. So I was like, I don't know what's gonna go on, but you were so sweet.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that 2P, because you won that Hurricane Pro, right? Yeah. And then you went on the following week and beat Ashley Kay.
Yeah, we did.
And stole Ashley Kay's win. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. That was. I still to this day, like, it was not something obviously that I would have expected or anticipated by any means. The only reason we went there was because I'd never been in front of Becky. I'd never been in front of that panel of judges. And I was like, well, before I go into off season, I want to know, from almost everybody, what they think, what I need to improve on, to be better for next season. And when they called Ashley in second, I really stepped on that stage. I was like, I'm good with second place. Like, it's top 2 for sure, because we were splitting center. I was like, it's straight. Like, Ashley's an OG. And they announced her in second, and I was like, shut up. Like, shut up. Because she had just come off the Olympia stage. I think she definitely placed top 10. What was she, like, 6? Six last year?
Something like that, yeah.
So, and she wasn't the only Olympian on stage. Brianna was there.
Yeah.
Asmund Williams, Jazzy Gonzalez, like some badass competitor.
Hitters, yeah.
Mhm.
And so I was just on a cloud, man. I was on a cloud.
Awesome. Did the judges give you feedback from your first show to your second show? Was it within the same realm of what you needed to do?
Yeah, so Joe Pashkula was the head judge for the Hurricane Pro, and he said to just come in a little fuller, build a little more upper body. And we actually, I think, were flatter for Hurricane than we were for Powerhouse. We weren't quite as full. And yeah, so I think if he had seen my Powerhouse package at Hurricane, he probably wouldn't have said that because we pulled out and it was full. But, and then also just to remember to focus on balance. But I think, you know, that's going to be almost every judge's feedback because they really want to make sure, especially for bikini and, well, pretty much anything but wellness at this point is balance is huge. So, and then I went to Becky and the other judge had said, don't change anything. Like, don't come in any tighter. Don't change anything.
You changed everything for the Arnold. Your suit color, you built more. You're like, what?
I'm like,
It was excitement. I think it was just excitement.
it was excitement. It was, you know, I call it a rookie mistake, I think, to be quite honest, because what we wanted to do was just, in my mind, I was like, we're going to be on stage with the best of the best. You know, Issa had just won the Olympia, Angelica, I've like, and these are all women that I'm like, they're untouchable. So I was like, how can we just be just a little bit better? And, you know, with 8 weeks of off season, I don't even count, that's like a diet break basically. I was not anticipating building much of anything. I just wanted to make sure we were maintaining going into prep, because at that point I had been in prep for 24-ish weeks for my prep for the North Americans and then into my 2 pro shows. We had an 8-week break and then we went back into prep, and I was like, well, I want to make sure I'm not losing muscle. Because obviously, you know, prepping as a natural athlete, that's one of my bigger concerns, is to make sure that we're staying full. And then I guess my body was like, let's do this. And then we built quite a bit. I really didn't notice until we got pictures and I was like, whoa. So obviously our feedback was, you built too much muscle. You were a little too big. The shoulders were too full. I had striations in my shoulders. It was just, we missed the mark for sure. So I think with that, it's hard to say I was disappointed because it's my first year competing my rookie season. I got invited to the Arnold. Like, I can't be disappointed in that. I think I'm just disappointed in the fact that I feel like I brought the judges something they didn't want to see. But I mean, that's gonna happen, right? I mean, you can't be like on all the time. And I'm glad that the conversation we had, Sonia, 2 days ago, I'm glad that we made that mistake now, because we now know with more muscle on my frame, it doesn't work. So going into Olympia with this prep, our focus was bringing back that 2019 package that Sandy, Tyler, all of them were like, just bring that back for the Olympia.
That's awesome. Yes, I agree.
Yep, I agree too.
Okay, you go. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, me go. I go. I go. Okay. What's my topic? Okay, yeah, my topic. Okay, so going into Olympia, we're talking about Olympia. What is going to be your hairstyle? Some people want to inquire about what suit color you're going to wear. Are you sponsored by any suit sponsors? Shoes, jewelry, makeup, all the glam stuff.
So
we want to know.
So I am definitely going with the big curls. That is just, it makes me feel me. You know, I'm a Black girl, so I do want to be rocking I want to make that natural big curly hair a little more normal, and we're seeing it more. You know, Etila is doing a beautiful job of representing the curly girls too, because she has some beautiful curls also, and just keeping that trend going. Obviously, no hate on the straight hair, it's just not me. And I've gotten feedback from the judges, and they love the curls. They're like, please keep the curls. So the curls aren't going anywhere. As far as suits, obviously I'm not going with the the ruby that I went with for the Arnold. I'm definitely going back to
Me like Breeze Summer.
yeah, I'm definitely going back to the lighter green blue tones. I have a few different options. I'm sponsored by Angel Competition Bikinis, so they've been just awesome at basically. I asked them too, because I was just there. I was like, I hope I'm not like overdoing it, but I need options for the Olympia.
Yeah.
Just anything that I think of, I'm like, what, can we do this? Can we put this together? And they're like, yeah, it's fine. So we got options. We got some blues, we got some greens, some teal, and we're gonna test out some looks before, which I'm sure we'll talk about that with as far as plans going into the Olympia. But yeah, so that's my suit sponsor. Definitely going back to my color. Makeup, I plan on doing it myself actually. I did all my own makeup last year.
Hold on. This is the biggest stage in the world. Okay?
Oh,
The
no,
biggest stage.
oh no, Darajah.
This is the Super Bowl of fitness. Okay? That's like wearing your regular uniform at a Super Bowl. You know they give special uniforms. So no. You got
Take
to
the
be
stress off
out.
yourself.
You got to be glammed out. So, you know, I'm a background of makeup artist, esthetician. And that's what I talk about. Some of the pros and some of the amateurs that go on stage, their look, you know, give them some critique, good critique, you know, just something to help out, make you pop more. Because I tell people all the time, when you are neck to neck with someone, they're going down from the, and this is from a judge's mouth, they're going down from the makeup, the earrings, the suit color, the tan, the shoes. So in my suggestion, I will suggest, unless you are a makeup artist, I know you like your YouTube. I know you're your platinum hair girl, you know what I'm saying? But with makeup, you want to have you don't need a whole bunch of makeup because your face is tiny. You just want something that really, that's soft and glam, like a soft glam.
That's the thing, is because the last few times
you had a bad experience
by someone else, it was a little more than what it was a little more harsh. I agree. I have a small face, and I don't have small eyes, but they're like almond shaped. So I've had makeup artists go a little too bold with the liner, go a little too a little blown out. And so I've been playing around with just what looks best for my eye shape, and that's what I've been figuring out. And I feel like I have it kind of figured out. I'm gonna do my own makeup for my upcoming show.
Oh yes, so you test it out.
I'm gonna test it out, but I did all my own makeup last year, every single show. So we'll see. And I have some friends too that I can ask for help, tips, advice with makeup. They're pretty handy. But I'm so particular with how my makeup comes out, that I just it actually stresses me out to have my makeup done by someone else. It makes me feel like I'm a Cancer.
So you wouldn't say anything. You're not gonna say nothing. They stressing you out.
No, because I'm like, oh, thank you. Yeah.
Girl, no, I'm like, I'm not going on stage like this. No, ma'am. I paid y'all money, but that's what. Let me tell you, I've done women like you in the competition field, and they will say, well, you know, I had a bad experience, and you know, blah blah blah, because I've done seen a lot of makeup artists that do a lot of you all's makeup, and they do too much or do too harsh. It's like too drag queen,
Yeah.
Or too ashy. They don't have the right undertones of the foundation, the powder. They're using SPF 15 foundation up under lights. That's a no. So it's a lot of people that's not educated about stage makeup and photo shoot, makeup. So I get that, trusting somebody with your face, and you have so many, bad experiences. But like I said,
yeah.
I'm gonna look you up on Instagram and see, cause you said you're doing a show before Olympia.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, I'll be in your DMs. I'll be like, girl, I give you some tips. I give you some tips. I'll be like, look, I'm like, thumbs up. I'll be like,
Are you going to the Olympia, Coach K? Will you be there?
I won't be there this year because I would definitely do you a nice soft glam beat, and I know for sure you'll love. But
yes, I love playing up on that kind of like exotic look. Like I don't like that just straight up like, oh, let's throw some glitter and some black in the crease and some black eyeliner and call it a day. Like, no, I need the shape and everything.
Yeah, I can
contour, the highlights under.
Yes,
I need
girl. Yes.
And when you're saying big hair, what you mean by big hair?
So I've worn her before.
No, go ahead.
So she's just I always refer to my wigs as like she. But no, so I've worn her before. I wore her to the Hurricane Pro. I've posted with it on. If you've seen me post with long curly hair, that's what I'm wearing. And I did get some clip-ins to go in the back to make it a little bit longer down the back. But that's what I'll be wearing. So they're kind of like the spiral curls.
Is it loose? Is it kind of loose, like like a natural?
Yeah.
I like it. I actually DM'd you about that wig too. Mentioned me back.
Yes. Yeah.
It was cute.
Because I love, what's that other girl's name that's from Brazil? She wears her curly hair. Yeah. Yeah. She has.
So it's like hers, except the curls are a little tighter because what I'm trying to do is actually just mimic something that I could do once my hair grows out. What I'm trying to do so that when I can be done with the wig, it's similar style.
Yeah, I can see you with a nice curl pattern, or even a layered water wave look, like a or I'm not a water wave, or a body wave, or like a Farrah Fawcett
yes
look. I can see you glammed out with that.
I wouldn't mind testing out a wig like that, but it's probably not till next year.
Yeah.
I think because you have so much more muscle, everything has to stay soft on you to bring more femininity than that strong, stronger look.
So that's the thing too with the straight wigs. And I actually, when I do talk to my posing clients and they're trying to figure out how to wear their hair, if they're more petite, I don't mind with the straighter hair, but I'm like, if you have more muscle and you look full and those muscle bellies are popping on stage, the curls really soften you up. So that's also strategy for us.
Yeah, that's why curls don't work for me. I have no muscle on top. I just I mean, I'm like, girl, I've tried it all. I've tried the straight. I've tried, next year I might try short hair. Who knows? Whatever makes you feel beautiful on stage. And I think that confidence shines. You just want to make sure your glam looks great for stage and not just like everyday look.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You're going to be comfortable, and it shows. Just like Jazzy, I sponsored her for she sponsored for a hair company, and I sent her a straight unit, and she was like, it's pretty, but I feel more comfortable, with my curls. And this is the last minute, the day, like 3 days before the show, she called me at 1 o'clock. I'm like, what? So I sent her a curly unit, one of mine, and she really, I could see the difference in the way she performed. You gotta feel comfortable, but I tell people, I say it gotta look good as well, so you can feel comfortable. And then I'm excited to see you in your new glam.
Thank you. Yeah, and then the jewelry, I'm sponsored by the Shoe Fairy, so she has really
good.
cute stuff. And she does heels and jewelry. So she just came out with the iconic Olympians that are like fully blinged out the bottom, and then they have the gray bottoms instead of the black. So they look just like you're walking on crystals, which is cool. So I have both the OG Olympians and the iconics. We'll play around and see which one I'm feeling, but the sparkle is cute, and it's becoming more popular on stage. So
not too much sparkles. It gets a little distracting.
Right. Yeah. And I'm a little hesitant for that reason. But I figured why not try it out.
Olympia, glam out, ball out.
We'll see what kind of mood I'm in. I'm usually I tend to like err on this more subtle side. So I'm trying to just make sure I'm not downplaying too much, you know?
Yeah.
So would you like to tell us what your next show would be?
So when is this coming out?
Next week.
Tomorrow. No, tomorrow.
A week from now.
Well, it's only a couple of shows. There's only what? Arizona,
San Diego.
and what else?
Oh.
Let me look at this. Ain't that many?
Dallas. Is it Dallas? Texas?
Battle, Texas. No. So I live in Florida. I'm in Naples. So Tim is having a show, the Atlantic Coast.
Oh yeah, I think you just posted that.
In Fort Lauderdale. So I've actually had my eye. What'd you say?
Is that new?
No, they had it last year, but I think it was maybe a little bit smaller. I only saw Masters. So I'm not sure, but we've been having our eye on that show, I think, since quarantine. I think.
Wow.
Just because timing wise, it's enough time for us to be able to make adjustments. I actually wanted to do the San Antonio show, but we weren't quite there yet, and we were kind of chasing conditioning at that point, and I wasn't feeling 100%. Paul was like, so we just called it. But I already had that flight and hotel booked, so I was like, I might as well just go. I'm really glad I went. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I am, as of today, 19 days out.
That's a smart move. Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to do because Sadie and Tyler are judging they judge the show, and I hadn't been in front of them obviously since the Arnold. When I a little different, so we wanted to bring back what they wanted to see what they would say, and they also said it came in a little too conditioned from the back, so we wanted to see how they felt about a softer look. But I think we'll just have to, it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. We weren't quite ready. We didn't want to force it. So we're just going to go into Atlantic Coast. It's funny too, that the second we dropped that show, my stress went out the window, and we dropped like 5 pounds that week.
Wow, girl.
Yeah.
Stress is real for these shows. Anxiety. Cortisol. It's real.
Yeah. It was crazy. I was trying everything. I was like, I don't know. I was like, Paul, I swear I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm crushing it. And it was just not happening. And then we were like, all right, well then we're not doing it. And then boom, drop.
You don't understand that stress holds.
Yes.
Yeah, no. I've been wanting to make a post about it at some point. Because I had been pretty quiet on social media as far as this prep was concerned, just because one, it's like the most important prep of my life, and I am I feel like I come off a little more open on social media, but I'm a pretty private person, especially when it comes to my emotions. I don't like putting my emotions out there. Typical Cancer, I overthink everything, and I'm always trying to think about like okay, I'm feeling this way, but why am I feeling this way? But am I actually feeling this way, or is it something else that's bothering me?
Oh my
And if I talk about it, how is it affecting somebody else? How are they going to interpret
Oh,
it?
my God.
girl, look, as you get older, look, as you get older, you're gonna give a dang what people think of you.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's me right now. I've actually, believe it or not, I've actually gotten better. Competing has definitely taught me how to prioritize my own self and my feelings, and not be so apologetic about everything. I say I'm sorry, I think all the freaking time. It's ridiculous. But yeah, what happened was
What had happened?
for about 6 weeks, the scale did not move.
Wow.
So we were just plateaued at the one weight for 6 straight weeks.
Wow.
And it was like, I felt like I was holding my breath for 6 weeks. Just like, please let this weight come off. I was like, this is my first Olympia. This is my show back to show the judges, you know, that we came improved and made improvements and we worked on what they asked me to work on. And I was like, I really don't know if this is going to work out, but I'm going to keep doing it. Like there was no doubt in my mind that I wasn't going to stick to the plan. Right. It was just like, I hope it works out. And so just dealing with that. And then also, obviously, you know, we prep and compete to win. Yeah. Right. I mean, as we all do. So it was almost a little heartbreaking for a while, because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't pull this off. So I just kind of sat with that, let myself be stressed out on the down low, just did what I could to do best for my clients and prioritize my prep. So everything else, social media, whatever else, was on the back burner at that point. And so yeah, so I got quiet, but we're good now.
We're good. Wow.
Yes, I said a lot of prayers. I was like, God, please let this weight come off.
It's off now,
yeah, but
now.
It is. And I looked, now that it's off too, and even while I was struggling with the plateau, I was like, to be quite honest, this actually just, because I have never struggled with fat loss like that. Like I've never plateaued for longer than maybe like 2 weeks for a prep. And so I was like, well, this actually just makes me more relatable to my clients, because I can't just, you know, it's something that I've never experienced, and I can coach through it, but if I've never experienced it, it's another level of understanding and being able to tell them it's going to be okay, we got this, and see the signs of what we need to do and how to adjust moving forward, rather than me going, I've never really plateaued before, so like, I don't know, just suck it up, you know? Right. So I tried to see the positives that came out of it, and we're here now. So
here now. A couple of questions.
Awesome. Amazing.
I just have a couple more questions. So can you tell us what your experience was like for the Arnold before we get into giving best advice? And then I wanted you to give some advice on a lot of competitors that are going into competing and they're natural. So that's been kind of like a hot topic as well for a lot of athletes.
Yeah. So the first question was, Arnold.
Yes.
So the Arnold, it was weird, obviously, because it wasn't the Arnold. It was the show, but there was no expo. There was like no audience for the prejudging. And honestly, it was just it was very just surreal, because I'm at the Arnold and I'm competing as a pro, and I don't know. It was like, I hadn't really had time to mentally just sit with what I had accomplished. it was just like go, 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 go. So by the time everything had been done, I was like, I just stepped on the Arnold stage. It was weird. Like I really wasn't super nervous or anything. Like I was almost kind of numb. It's like thinking back about it. I feel like I definitely wasn't as present as I could have been. I got my period the day before the show.
Oh my God.
And then I had so I was like having cramps backstage. I was like, oh my God, please, like, do I still have abs? Like I kept checking. I was like, no. So that was fun.
I can't
but it was
imagine the Arnold without a expo or anyone in the
I know. But I've never been to the Arnold anyway. So like it was I've seen it
You
on
can't miss
like
what you never had though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I've been doing
Yeah,
it
exactly.
19 and then doing it amateur 2018 to see you guys and to hear the judges talk in the background. It was like, that would be so weird to me.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it was I almost kind of am happy that it happened kind of in that low key way though, because it was my first time on a stage of that caliber.
Okay.
So to be on such a big stage without the audience was a little less nerve-wracking. And then so now I can take that experience with me to the Olympia now with an audience and go, okay, I've been on a big stage before, but now I just have the crowd. We can do this.
Right.
So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm trying to be I'm like in this habit of practicing gratitude and just being appreciative for like what's going on, because you just never know. So and then to be backstage too with, and that was the first time I was meeting Angelica, Janet, Issa, all of them, Camille. So I don't know, I was like kind of not starstruck, but I didn't feel out of place, but I was like, I'm the new kid on the block. So I'm like, how am I going to be received? Like, what is it really like at this level of competition? I don't know. I don't know. It was just surreal. It was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, nice though. They're all so nice and supportive.
Yes. Everybody was super duper sweet. Everyone. It was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, and then next question. So you said you were a natural athlete. Just want to kind of give advice to athletes or competitors that are coming into the sport, and let them know that it can be done. I mean, you're living proof that it can be done. We have Bree. A lot of us competed naturally, even in the beginning. Or Coach K, you raising your hand back there? I just want someone to let others know that it can be done.
It can be done. I try to be careful with how I phrase things, because I don't want to come off like I'm speaking or shining a negative light on like enhanced athletes, because if that's what you want to do, like by all means. It's very, my only concern with it is doing it uneducated and having a coach who's coaching you on protocols who's uneducated, and also just right off the bat, first week of prep, they've never coached you before, and they're like, you need to take this and this and this X amount of milligrams, and they don't even know anything about you or what you can do with your genetic potential.
Right.
And then so that's just my biggest problem with it, because I do know athletes who are they're on things and it's regulated and they're they're generally pretty healthy. So I say, just make sure that you're doing it from an educated, knowledgeable background, not just like, oh, I found that like some guy told me to take this at my gym. Like, don't do that.
Don't do that.
A lot of people like that.
Right, don't do that.
And also it's just something that I'm very proud of, because it does, I think people say that it can't be done. So for me to do it, right, it just makes me very proud. And if anyone tells you that you can't do it, they're either just ignorant to life without PEDs, or that's just the only thing that they know, and that's what they feel like they're actually doing their best by you. But not everybody has your best interest, so just be careful. It does take more time. There's a little more patience, longer off seasons, depending on your genetics, I will say, because I think, there is a huge variation as far as like how you respond to training and building muscle with your genetics. I am someone who grows very easily. I don't know why. I actually really want to get my blood work done to just see like if there's some extra growth hormone or something that I'm producing. Yeah. But I think for me, it's also just about the long term, where I see myself 5, 10, 15 years from now. I want kids. I want to, not have to, and here's why I feel like I have to be careful, because I don't know if like, you have to go on hormone replacement therapy or do certain things afterwards to regulate everything. And if your system is now reliant on those hormones, so everything kind of just goes out of whack. But I like knowing that my body is running on its own juice and there's no outside factors, manipulating my hormones and my metabolism, my thyroid, my reproductive system. I want babies one day. So that's one of my big concerns, is I don't really know how those hormones can affect that. And I like me the way that I am.
Now, what do you mean by, natural? Because a lot of people they just think they can just eat protein and veggies. So when you mean by natural, do you take over-the-counter supplements like your BCA?
So I do. So I'm sponsored by Core Nutritionals, the supplement company that I work with. So they do have supplements. It was created, and the formulas are all. The CEO of the company is a natural bodybuilder, so they're designed for natural athletes to give them that little extra edge. And with their prep, with their obviously, with following proper nutrition, training, having a regimen, a routine, and they're all supplements that because I know people that compete in natural federations that take them, and they test fine, because they have to get drug tested, obviously. And they don't, ring any alarms as far as oh, you take this, okay, you're not natural anymore. So yeah, that's the only supplementation that I do, is my over-the-counter stuff.
Great.
And caffeine.
Lots and lots of caffeine.
Yes.
We want to. Did anybody else have anything before we let Miss?
No, I just want to wish you good luck on this next show, and Olympia will be cheering for you. I'm excited for you.
Yes, I'll be looking out for the glam and the hair and
Coach
the makeup.
What'd you say, Sonia?
I said, Coach Case, looking for the glam. We're cheering for you.
We're cheering for you.
We're cheering for you. Well, make sure you're looking right, though.
That's right.
Represent the melanin.
Thank you for having me on. This was so much fun.
Thank you for
Thanks
coming
for
on and letting us know a little bit more about you. And if there was any advice that you had to give to anyone?
I would say just establish your goals, short-term, long-term, whatever that is. You don't need to compare them to anybody else's goals. They don't have to coincide with other goals people feel like they have for you. Everybody's going to tell you, oh, are you sure you need to do that? Or are you sure that's the right path you want to take? Or are you sure you should quit your job? If you have your mind set on what it is that you want to do it, pursue it. Whether it's art, bodybuilding, dancing, music, find a way to entertain that outlet. Even if it's something that you do part-time as a hobby on your extra time, enjoy that creative outlet. Don't, kind of just leave it, because that's nurturing your soul. If you find a passion in something, that's doing it, pursuing it, feeds that light in you. And it just makes me a better person. When I competing for me is that source of motivation, dedication that I translate into all aspects of my life, not just competing. So if you can find something that does that for you, do it. Obviously within reason. Don't just, drop everything, leave your family, friends, and never look back, and then you're just end up on the side of the road somewhere.
Right.
But find a way to do it, get it done, and live your freaking life, man.
Right. Live your freaking life. She said it, guys.
Yeah.
And it is Darajah.
It is Darajah, yes, not Darajah, but people say
I like that.
Well, thank you, Ms. Darajah Hill, and we will be looking forward to seeing you on stage.
Yes, thank you, ladies.
Bye, Coralie. Good night.
Bye.
All right, that was Ms.
Excellent.
Darajah Hill. What did you guys think? Lovely, lovely, lovely young lady.
Yes. She is doing her thing and representing for us for sure. Like, her track record is pretty lit. I'm excited for her over the next couple of years. And she's 25, so she got some time in her.
Guys,
Yeah, she got plenty of time. Woo.
what was I doing at 25? Who knows?
She got her head on strong.
Yeah.
And she's a coach. She quit her job to coach. That's like, wow.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Love it. And then she said she was, what, a fiance? Or
Yeah, she's married.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very, very impressive young lady. Love her.
Yep.
All right, guys. So are we signing out here?
Yeah.
Bye now. I'm sleepy.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching Fit Beauties Talk. Make sure you subscribe, DM, send any messages. Anyone that you would like to see on, we will try to get them on and interview them. I'm Sonia Lewis.
K-Fit Barbie.
And I'm Bree Wigley.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.